Alright, I will count down, I guess. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, this is Hydra Castle Labyrinth. It's a freeware Metroidvania game from about 2010. It's in Japanese. There is an English patch, but I'm not using it because the English patch disables some movement that I would really rather keep. The first thing I'm going to do is go get some items before heading into any of the dungeons. The way the game's laid out is that there are 8 dungeons in total. At the end of each is a boss. The 8th boss is the Hydra in the Castle Labyrinth, of course. And you have to tackle each dungeon in order. So there's no selecting the order of bosses you do. Which is, pretty interesting because this game does have sequence breaks within the dungeons. But not within the overall sequence of the game. What I just got was a ammo drop, which gives me ammo for the sub-weapons in the game. They come in drops of 5. I have 10 now. I need 15 before the end. So I just got the first sub-weapon, which is the boomerang. The first item I got is less important. It lets me... well, less important than the boomerang, at least, because it lets me break blocks like these, which lets me actually get the other items. So this is the power band. It lets me climb ladders fast. Cool thing about the boomerang, it follows my vertical. So that's very cool. It's sort of like across from Castlevania. And I have really good ammo luck right now because I don't have the best drop rates right now. Eventually I will double my drop rate for this. So this is the silver pick. Now I break blocks in 1 hit instead of 3. And now I'm gonna head down this hallway and break out of that stone status in time to get the invincibility from breaking out and go through it. You're not exactly supposed to be here, but it's not really disallowed. Oh, sorry. So now I'm headed over to get the best item in the game, which is the bombs. And the bombs are the bomb. And those ghosts are RNG, and they were nice to me, so that's good. So, to get the bombs, I have to kill every enemy in this room, which includes these turrets. It's sort of perilous, because if one of the turrets hits me, I will get stoned to death and fall into the water below. Anyway, bombs are great because you can do this with them. So that's the second run of today with ladder-based... Hold on. Okay, just wanted to be quiet there so I didn't choke. But yeah, second game of the day with ladder-based zip strats. So you can zip with the bombs at the top of a ladder. If you throw it within a certain pixel, and I'm going to take a save here, within a certain pixel distance of the top of a ladder, it puts you into the wall, and then from there you can do a bunch. By the way, I've got double jump now, which is really useful for a lot of things. Interesting thing, it's not actually double jump, it's double plus however many screen transitions you go through. That's the movement that's disabled on English, as far as I can tell by total accident. So now I've got a bunch of the equipment I need, so I can head to the first dungeon of the game. But first, I'm going to pick up one more piece of stuff I need, and that's the only damage zip, the only damage boost, rather, in the game. because taking damage in this game is super slow. You can't move in your invincibility state, which is really rather bad. So this is the green scroll. It lets me have multiple sub-weapons on screen at a time. One more zip, take us back to the starting. Oh, that happens sometimes. I failed the zip. I fell out of it, and it took me back to where I was. Thankfully, it's not really a big deal. There's no constraints on how many attempts I can take at this. So that's better. Now I'm back at the start of the game with pretty much all the items I need. Gonna pick up a couple more before I can tackle the first dungeon. So first item is the key to the first dungeon, which obviously I need to actually get in. Second item's up here, and I'm gonna buffer an attack on the loading screen and get the catfish charm, which lets me not be stunned by earthquake attacks, which sounds like it's pretty niche, but it's really not. So first dungeon, this is the Dodo's Den, and we're gonna make the Dodo go extinct again, which, sorry Dodo. Pretty simple layout, but there's still definitely some zip tricks we can do. It's a bit awkward to get out of that wall sometimes. Most of the zips are easier to get out of. One more. Oh. Well. Taking that damage doesn't actually matter. I'm not going to take damage during this fight. So this is the Dodo. One important piece of tech that I'm doing is I'm staggering the bomb throws, so that their iframes don't overlap. The thing that's really powerful about the bombs is they have 4 hits, and each of those hits does 20 damage. For reference, the sword does 10 damage per hit. And those are arrows, they're like daggers in Castlevania. One more item. This is a very useful one. This is the golden gem. It doubles the drop rates for everything, so I have to worry less about ammo now. Zip on over. That was a fast zip. Hopefully these slimes are nice. They looked like they were going to be nice, but then they decided to hit me at the last minute. And now for the axe, which is another sub-item, another sub-weapon. And I'm going to use it at some point. This lets me have a charge attack, which I really only want to use there. If I'm using it somewhere else, something has gone very wrong. To finish up about the axes, and a little visual bug there, if you attack and enter a dungeon at the same time. The thing about the axes is they're used once as a legitimate weapon, once as a bit of optimized movement, and once as a sequence break. Lining up a zip here under fire, which is kind of awkward, but not really. Anyway, this is the second dungeon, which is the Bat's Cave. And the boss is not Batman, but just a bat. And we're at the bat fight already. Basically, you just want to jump over fireballs. So I can throw 4 boomerangs before he shoots fireballs, and I'm missing out on quite a lot of damage there, which means this is going to take probably another few cycles. That finished him off. Don't have the largest amount of ammo, but I don't actually need all that much. Take another heal. Ammo drop there is very nice. Get the shield. This allows me to block some projectiles just by standing still. Switch over to Axe, and I blocked that. You can see the projectile that said that I blocked that. One more zip here. You can see that I can actually stop zips as I want. And that's really important, because if I don't stop the zip on that screen and don't jump out of it, I zip beyond the boundary of the map, which punts you out to the title screen. And now one more zip to get to Gulja, the boss of Gulja's Ruins, naturally. Who's a little squid guy. And this guy's pretty okay. I just got electricity status, which is real bad. So this is going to take one more cycle than necessary. Alright. Get the 4th dungeon key, and hopefully I'm going to get some ammo leaving this dungeon, because I'm really going to need it for the next trick. So the game's being a bit stingy with ammo right now. Nothing I can do about that besides maybe farm a bit here. Gah. And that will suffice. Do a zip here. And now I'm back here. I'm kind of nervous that I have a bit of damage on me, because I'm going to be taking quite a lot of health damage after this next zip. Hopefully I can line up the attack I need to do pretty well. That's fine. Zipping from here again. Switch to boomerangs. Jump down into the next screen. And the whole purpose of this... Ooh, that's going to be close. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not going to have very much life to spare here. I'm going to live, but it's... So, these gills let me swim. And... I'm still very slow in water. I will be fixing that later. I'm just going to take it safe, take it slow here. Unfortunately, this is a very slow segment if you fall behind here. But I don't really have enough health to do anything about it. Like, this fish could kill me in one hit. But we're through it. And I'm going to take these bats very carefully, because these groups of 3 bats are really hard to dodge for no good reason. Jump over him. Alright, and now I'm all set up for the water dungeon, which is... Anyway, this is Gyra's Bog. That's the best way I can describe it. The first bit of movement is pretty fun, but there's a trick coming up that's not going to be very good. So first, one zip here. Jump up. Do a cool little bit of movement to get a jump off that wall, which is the only time I'll be showing off that trick in this run. Okay. So the game just ate my double jump, which is something that happens sometimes. Which is unfortunate, but it happens sometimes. I would love to grab that ammo, I don't really have time to. So just making my way back through the dungeon. And we're past it. It shouldn't be a problem. Sometimes this game eats inputs. It's bad, but ooh, I really didn't want to take that damage there. That's fine, though. Open that block there by hitting that switch. And double jump out here, do a triple jump that I get from that screen transition, and now I can move at 90% normal speed in water, which is the whole purpose of that exercise. And getting some health back, which is very helpful, because this next room is the worst. Which is basically because I have to zip under some thwomps, and I don't actually have time to get the positioning set up. Oh, God. Not like this. Okay, I'm gonna reset this dungeon because I now don't have health enough to take that zip. So unfortunately, that's just one of the things that is very difficult to get down. And unfortunately, it's somewhat monitor dependent, because where exactly... I'm gonna wait for this guy to go so I don't waste 2 more ammo, because I'm getting less good ammo. Oh, okay. Let's do this again. Man. Getting thrown off by this. This is really the worst zip of the run, and if it goes... As soon as I get a decent zip attempt, it will be fine for the rest of the run. It's just that this trick is quite tricky. Alright, there it is. And, okay. What happened was the zip actually got rejected because I didn't quite go through the wall correctly. So, hey, we're doing this again. That's bad. No. Alright, that's fine. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to waste a lot of time killing these guys. Alright. We're through it. For some reason, the game fakes you out if you try to go on that upper path. Alright. So the whole point of that experiment was to go get this dragon idol, which lets us finish the dungeon by getting to the end of it. I am going to take a safety save right before the boss because my health is quite low. Apologize about being inconsistent on that zip. It really is quite dependent on the machine. It's unfortunate. Yeah, so I didn't get health drops there, so I'm absolutely going to exit the dungeon and save. So now I finally get to use axes for their intended purpose, which is to kill enemies. Boom. Only legitimate axe in this run. Oh, okay. So this is Hydra. He's fun. He's not actually fun. But if you stand in the right place... If you stand in the right place, you can just get him to circle around you. Unfortunately, I got hit by my absurdly large bomb hitbox. Okay. That was a fine fight. The best part about that fight is that the dungeon is over. The worst part about that fight is the RNG boss is still coming in. So anyway, pretty normal walk over to the next dungeon, which is Hydra's Cavern. And the theming of that next dungeon is very fun. And by fun, I mean... Grab that ammo drop. You'll see what I mean. Thankfully, I got the ammo I needed. So the theming of this dungeon, right? So, purple, just like Gulch's Ruins, starts out with some RNG ghosts, which is great. And then you see the real mechanic, which is darkness, which doesn't really matter, because it's fine. Take a zip here to skip a key item. Until you see the next mechanic, which is giant spike balls that are also in the darkness. They're just fun to dodge. Oh, also ghosts that show up and poison you. But everything's just on a room-based cycle, which is fine. And now for the RNG boss. Alright. That's a good amount of damage. Alright, the audio is still a bit delayed, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to get the audio cue on him quite right. Oh, okay, I jumped, which is real bad. Okay. He's dead, that's what matters. Unfortunately, looked quite slow, but oh well. And now, everything gets significantly better for the last 3 dungeons. So, mid-game, not great. Fortunately, game just gave me a boatload of ammo. So that's kind of the room I use to restock on ammo. It's just got a whole bunch of things that can drop ammo. And we're gonna go into the Devil's Lair. So, it's basically exactly like Cuphead in that we're gonna fight the devil in this dungeon. So, these yellow slimes apply paralysis, which you've already seen. So I'm gonna be very careful around them. Very careful. Because they're the worst. Do some quick dodging up there. And this is the sequence break for the axes. Normally, you would need to... got caught in my own bomb there. Normally, you would need to ride up that gust that pod is giving out. But before you can do that, you need the key item. Instead, I skipped the key item and used the axes to kill those bats. get the coin, which is the key item for this dungeon. And now I can head out. Switch to boomerangs, gonna try to skip a cycle on this next room. So that's an easy cycle skip. If you kill that pot, then you can skip one cycle of waiting for the win to finish. Oh, shoutouts to Mega Man, by the way, for those blocks. Ooh, ammo. Alright. See you around, yellow slime. You're the scum of the earth. And this is the devil, which is exactly what the devil always looks like. Oh. Excuse me as I just go out and reset this fight and safety save. Because I got hit by his attack, which is quite bad. Let's do that again. So you just time those boomerangs so that you're jumping over his shots, and now the fight is over. So that's the devil, which is, again, exactly what the devil always looks like. I need 26 ammo before the next dungeon, hopefully. So I will be attempting to get that in this room. One more drop will do it. Cool. Oh, huh. Normally, killing the box that slug is on will kill that slug. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't. And now I've got quite a bit of ammo to use. Zip back over to the lava area. And now to Dungeon 7, which is the lava dungeon. Arms Grotto. So this is just your basic lava dungeon with rock throwers and fire spewing turrets. Pretty simple. Gonna spawn an item here by killing that guy. You can tell it worked because the music reset. And now I'm gonna just head up this gauntlet of fire. No big deal. Time jumps on moving platforms, except the platforms aren't moving. Kill these pigs. No big deal. And pick up the first of 2 key items in this dungeon. And we need those to unlock a 3rd key item in the dungeon. Do another zip here. Zip over 2 rooms. Or 1 room, that's fine. Wait for this turret, go down here. Climb up here, and we have to kill all 3 turrets in this room to move on. There it is, ladder. Spawns right at the top, and just in time for you to grab onto it. Not having sound effects is actually quite unfortunate for this run. I'm standing well clear of my bomb hitboxes because they still persist a good time after it looks like they should be gone. Catching some nice animation frames on that freeze frame there. Grab this pickup. And now I can head to get the key item of the dungeon, which is very fun. Line up one last zip. Gotta take this one slow. Gotta be careful not to go over the level boundary, because if I do, I get booted to the title screen. I get lava shoes. I can walk on lava. I'm Lava Jesus. Deal with it. Bad jokes. Done slowly. Anyway, these guys serve as a good point to pick up a bit more ammo. I'm using 14 ammo on this boss fight, which means I'll have, 15 left over. Which means I need 4 drops before the final boss. This is Garm. He's a big lava doggo. I shouldn't have taken damage there. It's incredibly easy to avoid this, and it's literally just 7 cycles of this. Okay, I'm... gonna actually focus now. This should be the last cycle, unless I staggered my bomb throws wrong, which I did. Alright. Bit more fraught than that fight usually is, but got through it. It's really an easy fight. My first time through this, I ran out of ammo and finished it with the sword only. And if you noticed, I'm not really using the sword in boss fights, which is just because it's terrible. Anyway, yes, I need 35 ammo before the final dungeon, which I am heading to right now. And it's a bit of a trek. I have actually been in the room where it is before, but the dungeon doesn't spawn until you get key number 8. And neither does the save point. So, game's being very greedy about its ammo distribution. So I'm gonna have to farm some up in this fight, this room rather. 2 more drops. Anyway, the way this next dungeon is structured is there's 4 wings of it, and each wing contains a refight with the dodo. At the end of each wing, you get to a shield generator. You need to kill all the shield generators to get to the final boss, and then you can drop into the final boss and win. So that sounds like a long dungeon, but forget everything I just said, because you can bomb off ladders. And after you bomb off ladders, boomerangs go through walls. So yeah, that's how to really quickly do the hardest dungeon in the game. And here's the Hydra. Gonna attack its... Oh, can we get someone on time? I have to kill all the heads before I can deal damage to the body, at which point it has 120 HP. These rock spawns are random. I can take exactly 1 hit, which I just took, so this is gonna be fun. Time is gonna be after I kill the center. No, actually when I grab the crown in the middle after doing so. So, the sequence of attacks is always the same, but the rocks are random. So I'm just gonna have to hope for good ones. That was not a good one. Alright, I'm gonna kill the middle. And there's a crown in the middle, and time. Underestimate, that's all I care about. So that's Hydra Castle Labyrinth. It's a real fun game.